This week, I got a briefing not requested by me from a group that I had never heard of. And before I brought it to you, we wanted to spend a few days looking into it and looking into this group. It came from intelligencefusion.co.uk. This is a intelligence and threat assessment firm that looks into exactly the same kind of stuff that Gavin Becker does for me, looking at for their clients, what should you be aware of and where is the world going? The reason why I bring this threat assessment up is because its conclusion was quite stark. It was the threat evaluation of Black Lives Matter. And their conclusion in the executive summary says this: considering the above ratings displayed in the threat evaluation metrics, BLM can be assessed to be a high threat based on the intersecting of its extreme capability rating with a medium intent rating. This rating largely stems from the group's capabilities, since its intentions appear to be at odds with even its supporters at this time, although future activities may see opportunities for the realization of its wider strategic objectives. Nonetheless, BLM has proven to be a high threat to nearly all aspects of domestic life in the USA, given the widespread effects of its activities across the country. They are more in line with left-wing extremists. So we did our homework on this group. I think the worst thing that you could say about them, but I think this is be said about any business, is they have released this publicly to get people like me to talk about them because they would like to have more clients. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm a capitalist. I'm sorry, Marxist, but that's a capitalist move. The question is it credible? We have found it to be very credible, but we're going to let you decide. We brought Matthew Pratten in. He is the regional intelligence analyst for Intelligence Fusion, and he joins us now. So let's go through this. First of all, let's take up the threat matrix, if we can pull that up on the screen, and you take us through the threat matrix and tell us what it is and what it means.
Sure. Okay. So what you should be seeing on your screen there is, of course, a threat assessment matrix. It's a way of sort of determining determining what kind of threat any kind of group or individual poses through a very structured process. So you first of all start with capability, and that is broken down into determining capability through looking at an individual's or group's knowledge and resources. And you put those two together as you see on the screen. So if you would say, start at the bottom of resources and then go to, sort of essentially use your fingers to, match up where knowledge and resources would meet on that table you see there. From there, you look at intent. And from there, you sort of, intent is broken down into desire and expectance. And utilizing information that you come across, you use that to determine, what desire and expectance a threat actor has, and that gives you I suppose in this case, the medium rating. From there, you sort of consolidate those ratings into an overall threat assessment. So you look at the capability rating, in this case, on the screen there, extreme, and then you match it up with medium, so with the medium intent rating, and you sort of essentially follow the table. So if we were to go say capability, we've assessed that the BLM in this case, their capability is extreme. So we'd look at extreme on the bottom right there. And then we go to the intent, onto the side of intent, and using what we've assessed of BLM, with a rating of medium. Essentially, sort of looking from that medium table there, and essentially you go across and see where it meets extreme on the bottom right, and of course you've got a
Right.
rating of high.
Okay, so tell me the intent, because their intent is really, really clear with the organizers. Is the intent medium because there are a lot of people that are involved that have no idea what their real intent is?
I would say there is a disconnect between what the leadership's intentions are for the group and what the intentions are for, say, people on the ground. There's, over time, I reckon people on the ground would come to realise that what they're sort of campaigning for under under sort of the rhetoric of Black Lives Matter would, when they sort of look at the what the senior leadership wants, then there would sort of, I reckon they would sort of begin to see over time that what they would be wanting is at odds with what the senior leadership at the top wants.